Welcome to AI in 8 minutes or less, your daily AI update. Today we're looking at an AI agent that has absolutely taken the developer world by storm. It's called Hermes Agent. And it's not just another tool. Nope. It's a peek into a future where AI actually improves itself. So let's dive right in.
And this quote right here, man, it just nails the shift that we're seeing. This isn't just hype anymore. It's becoming a reality. We've seen little hints of this idea before, but Hermes Agent is one of the first to make it feel really tangible. Just imagine an AI that doesn't just do what you tell it, but it actively learns from its own screw-ups, getting smarter with every single task. That's the world we're stepping into.
And when I say it's gone viral, I am not kidding. Take a look at this. The project has just skyrocketed to over 15,000 stars on GitHub in what feels like the blink of an eye. You know, that kind of explosive growth, it's a huge signal that something really important is happening here.
Okay, so here's the game plan for today. We're going to break it all down. First, what is Hermes Agent? Then we'll get into the secret sauce, that self-improving loop. We'll also check out its super unique memory system, see how it stacks up against the competition, and then we'll wrap up with what this all means for the future of AI. All right, so first up, what exactly is Hermes Agent? What makes it so different from all the other AI tools we're already swimming in?
Well, the creators at News Research came up with the perfect analogy. They said to think of it like this. Imagine if a really good code assistant like Codium and a super versatile general-purpose agent like OpenClaw had a baby. That's Hermes. It's designed to be a jack of all trades, but it really shines for developers. And it's built to work with open source models, which, is a total game changer.
And now we get to the really juicy part. How does Hermes actually teach itself? This is the core innovation, the thing that sets it completely apart from everything else.
So, this term, self-improving, what does that actually mean in practice? Well, it all comes down to this new concept called JEPA. JEPA stands for Generic Evolution of Prompt Architectures. But don't let the name intimidate you. Just think of it like the agent has its own built-in performance review. After it does something, it takes a step back, looks at what worked and what didn't, and then, and this is the cool part, it uses a process kind of like genetic evolution to actually change its own internal instructions and skills so it does a better job next time. So it works in this simple three-step loop. First, execute. The agent goes and does a task. Then evaluate. It stops and analyzes how it did. And finally, evolve. It literally rewrites its own code and skills based on what it just learned. And the key here, the really wild part, is that this all happens automatically, no human in the loop.
Here's a fantastic way to wrap your head around this whole thing. If you know how big AI models like GPT work, how they learn by adjusting all those connections in a neural network, well, this is basically the same idea, but instead of tweaking a massive network, Hermes is fine-tuning its own instructions and its own code on the fly. It's a totally new level of self-optimization. But look, a self-improving agent is only ever going to be as good as its memory. And this is another place where Hermes really stands out. It's got this totally unique 4-layer memory system. You see, it's way more than just a simple chat history. It starts with your basic markdown files for quick notes, but then it adds a structured SQLite database for more complex memories, a procedural layer to actually store the skills it learns, and there's even an optional layer to learn your specific preferences as a user. It's pretty sophisticated. And the real game changer here is the jump from simple text files to a structured database like SQL. See, the whole point is to store information in a way that's optimized for the agent to search through, not just for a human to read. And this one little change gives Hermes this massive advantage, the ability to query its own memory super fast and super efficiently.
So you've got this powerful learning loop, you've got this killer memory system. So how does Hermes actually stack up against the competition? Where does it fit in the whole AI agent landscape?
This gives us a really quick lay of the land. You've got Agent 0, that's kind of the veteran in this space, super powerful and configurable. Then there's OpenClaw, which is a bit more established and really aims for a broader mass market audience. And then you have Hermes, the new kid on the block, and its defining feature is right there. That self-improving JEPA loop. Yeah, it's still experimental, it's not as polished, but its potential is just massive.
Let's just drill down a bit more on that OpenClaw comparison, because that's really its closest rival right now. Hermes is laser-focused on developers. OpenClaw is more for everybody. There are some technical differences too, like how OpenClaw has this periodic heartbeat check-in. And yeah, Hermes is still a little rougher on the edges, but it's developing at a crazy fast pace. So let's zoom out. Let's look at the bigger picture. What does a self-teaching AI actually mean for the future?
You know, this is a pretty bold prediction, but honestly, it just feels right. This concept, this self-improving loop, it's so powerful that it's really easy to see it becoming a standard feature in pretty much all major AI projects over the next couple of years.
So the real thing to remember here is that Hermes Agent isn't the final product. It's not the end game. It's a trailblazer. It's a pioneer. Along with a few other projects like it, it's showing us what's actually possible. We are at the very, very beginning of a whole new chapter for AI.
And all of this, of course, brings us to a really profound, kind of mind-bending question. We are now building AI that can get better all by itself, without our help. So, what happens next? What does it mean when the process of innovation in AI no longer requires a human in the loop? And that, right there, is the core idea to take away from all this. For years and years, we've been teaching AI how to follow our instructions. The next era of AI, the one that's starting right now, is all about AI that can teach itself. And that, fundamentally, changes everything.